One Eastern Conference team looks to be falling off. Another Eastern Conference team is on the rise. We're talking about the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons today. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Jaden, and welcome back to the 30 NBA team previews. We are in the preseason, man. The NBA season is just around the corner. I'm excited. I know y'all are excited. And we are talking about two Eastern Conference teams that I think are in for really interesting seasons. One is Detroit, one is Indiana. Let's just get straight into it. We're going into roster moves. We're going into what to look out for this season. We're going into standings predictions. You know how it is. Let's get started. The Detroit Pistons had a very surprising season last year to me. They were coming off of a season where they lost like 20 games in a row at one point in the season. Like, they were just awful. And then last year they go on this massive jump and they end up making the playoffs. This year, I think we see another rise from that team. It's almost perfect scenario for the Detroit Pistons because the East is so depleted right now. The Pistons didn't really make any notable moves this offseason. They brought in Duncan Robinson, a good backup shooter for this team, unless they start him over Tim Hardaway Jr. But nothing really notable about this team in terms of the roster. They kept everything intact. I just think they have some interesting storylines heading into the season. I'm kind of curious to see if Cade Cunningham can be an MVP caliber player. I don't know if he'll be this year, but I think he is someone who will be in the future. I think the tricky thing for him is he plays in a market where, you wouldn't really give MVP recognition unless the Pistons happen to be like a 1 or 2 seed and this dude was putting up absurd numbers. But they're just so the Pistons are just so mid to me. But Cade Cunningham has another level to him that I think we have yet to see. And I think we're going to see it this year. I think he's going to continue to grow. He's going to keep on getting better. I mean, he's still really young. He was drafted not too long ago. And he is the franchise cornerstone of this team. And everything goes through him. And the future depends on him. And I think the Pistons are in for another good season because I think Cade Cunningham's in for another good season. I think that we're going to see an all-star season from Cade Cunningham. All-NBA, maybe, like as a third team or a second team. Although, I don't know. Like, there's so many good guards in the league, bro. There are so many good NBA guards. I think the second thing to look out for is Ausar Thompson. Ausar Thompson is someone who didn't get to play a lot last year because of medical issues and stuff like that. But I think he's good. He's ready to go. And, we see a man in Houston and the type of player he's becoming and how exciting Houston is because of Amen Thompson and how he's become like probably their number one prospect on a team that had Jalen Green at one point, who has Alperen Şengün, but it's Amen Thompson who, we're all super excited about. If Ausar can be kind of what Amen Thompson is, the Pistons are going to be so interesting, in future seasons with him and Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. This team is just so young that I feel like we're just kind of looking at this team grow, and we're going to see them grow more this year. I think they're going to be a higher seed this year. I think they're going to be better this year, maybe even win a playoff series this year. And this team is chilling because there isn't really a lot riding on this season like other teams, and they're just going to keep on getting better. As far as standings predictions for this team, I think they could end up being a 5 seed. It depends a lot on other Eastern Conference teams that just have so many question marks surrounding them, like Milwaukee, like Philly, like Orlando. I think this team is going to finish like middle of the pack of the Eastern Conference. I could see them finishing as a 4 seed. Again, it depends on those other Eastern Conference teams, but I think they're in for a good season and another playoff season. Now let's talk about the team that is probably going through the most heartbreak this year, and that is the Indiana Pacers. I feel so bad for Pacers fans. I mean, 1 minute you're in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and within a split second, your whole future kind of changes despite having the championship within your grasp. And it was a close game too at that point. I don't think Indiana would have won, but I think they would have put up a great fight to the point where I would have questioned it and possibly could have won. I mean, Game 7 is really up for anyone. Man, that's just tough. Like, I feel so bad for Pacers fans, man. Obviously, no Haliburton this season. I don't think Haliburton plays, period. The difference between him and like a Jason Tatum or a Kyrie is I don't think he's coming back to anything. I think Tatum could come back to a decent Boston Celtics. I think that Kyrie will come back to a Mavericks team who has set themselves up nicely this year. Haliburton, I don't think, is coming back to anything. This team isn't what they looked like last year, even if Haliburton was playing, because they also lost Myles Turner. And those are like the big roster changes, is just like losing guys, losing Haliburton for the season, losing Myles Turner. And I don't know why Myles Turner left. I mean, I respect him going to get his bag, but Milwaukee, to me, is not like in any better of a position than Indiana was in. They're in a worse position to me than Indiana was in. And Giannis is obviously an MVP type of guy. Giannis is a top 5 player in the league, top 3 player in the league. I get all of that, but they aren't set up the way Indiana was set up, in my opinion. I mean, this team literally just went to the finals. They shocked everyone and went to the finals. I was stunned by the Indiana Pacers last year, and I thought that they were really set up for another big season. And yeah, like no Haliburton and no Turner. So what does the future of this team look like? I really don't know. I think as far as this season goes, the things to look out for are like Siakam maybe being an all-star with this World and US format. I've talked about this with a couple guys in Josh Giddey and Jamal Murray. I think that this World versus US format for the All-Star game is going to open up a lot of All-Star opportunities for guys who haven't been able to get in a while. Although Siakam might have been last year. I don't know why I'm blanking on that now. Siakam has been an all-star before, obviously. I just don't remember if it was last year or not. But I think, yeah, we could possibly see an all-star Siakam year. I think another thing to look out for is just like who's going to grow and what are the guys going to do? And are guys going to find new roles? Are guys going to step up? Like I think Nembhard, Mathurin, Nesmith, these guys got to have good seasons of just, growing in their game. Nembhard, seeing if he has another level to him. Same with Mathurin, same with Nesmith, and just like working on their game. We've talked about other teams like, oh, this is a wash, whatever. Like Boston, for example, yeah, they lost Tatum, but they have Jaylen Brown and they have like a chance to see a new level of Jaylen Brown and see like what the future of that team looks like, and a team that has like a very bright future still. Whereas Indiana, yes, they have Haliburton, but with the loss of Myles Turner and, no one really joining this team. And I don't know if there's another level to Nembhard and Mathurin. I get that they're still young. I don't know if they have the potential of other young dudes in the league. And so I hope they prove me wrong, because I'd love to see this team be really good again in the Eastern Conference in the future when Haliburton's back. But man, this is just like such rocky waters for the team. And maybe I shouldn't be saying this, because the Indiana Pacers proved to everyone that like it's next man up last year in the playoffs. I mean, Haliburton is the best player on the team, but he didn't play like it every single night. Siakam ended up with the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and Haliburton was like great on a nightly basis, with exploding games every other night. But guys like Nembhard was playing well, and Mathurin was playing well, and Siakam obviously, and Myles Turner and Aaron Nesmith was having crazy games. This team is just a great team. It was never really about we have our superstar and our other dudes. It was just these are the dudes, and they built a great team. So maybe I shouldn't be sleeping on them or saying, they're on rocky waters, or I don't know what the future looks like. It's just like a weird situation for them. Part of the reason I think Haliburton won't come back, and this is my prediction for this team, is that I think they're going to end up as a 9 or 10 seed. Despite the East being kind of iffy, I think there's still a lot of other teams that, even though they have question marks, are going to end up better than they did last year. Orlando, Philly. I think that these teams are getting better. Philly's always barring health, and we'll talk about Philly when we get to them. But the potential is there, obviously. I don't think there's a chance for them to really make a push like they did last year. And so, for that reason, I don't think Haliburton plays this year. And I think that the focus of the Pacers is the following season. So there you have it. Those are my 2 Eastern Conference teams we're talking about today. Leave a like and subscribe. I'd love to see you in the next video. We're going to keep on going through this series until we cover all 30 NBA teams. Man, I am so excited for the NBA season, and I know y'all are excited for the NBA season. It's going to be a really good one, a really interesting one. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.